Good morning, fellow option traders. This is Jeff, and welcome to the daily scan for December 17th, 2013. Well, scheduled news events today is CPI at 8:30 and then the housing market index at 10 o'clock. Both pale in comparison to Uncle Ben tomorrow, front stage. Alright, I don't know what that's going to do to us. How's Asia doing? Asia is a little mixed right now, slightly down. Looks like as though maybe they have paused in their downward trend. Or maybe they've reached a bottom or support. Over in Europe, pretty red in Europe. And you'll see for the U.S., for our futures, we also are a little red. Well, we were anyway. Still tinted red, or heading towards red. Gold is at 1236, and oil is at 97.59. Comparatively, no change from yesterday. Alright, what am I doing here? Yesterday I entered I got, let's see if my alerts are still on here. I had a busy morning at 9:30. FedEx, Boeing, IWM, SPXPM, 3M, anybody else? And Amazon all fired off. When I came to look at them, around 10 o'clock or so, only a couple of them interested me, and that was FedEx, which has earnings tomorrow, so I have to be out of it today. I was hoping to maybe pull $50 out of it or so. And Google. I got in on a Google. Both of them I had put limit orders in. Of course, I always put limit orders in. Had to wait quite a while for them to execute. In the case of FedEx, had to wait almost an hour. And Google, an hour and a half, almost 2 hours for Google to finally come back and grab my offer. Alright, so we'll take a peek at the charts for those. Google. And we'll see what those look like. And here we go, right here. Let's bring this one a little bit more into focus. This was about when I got in, was on this candle. Yes. So this candle ends at 10:48 and this candle ends at 12:06. So it would have been on this candle. Which is, and it sort of hung in around there close to my short strike. So I need it to be above this line, which is the short strike, not break even, but the short strike for this Friday. And the other one was FedEx, and they have earnings tomorrow morning, so I have to be out of this today. And that's where we are right there. So that's what happened yesterday. Now I wanted to just quickly run over something here that I've been messing with. This is a regression channel, this one here, and the way that it works is if you have like a starting point and then you have an ending point, like you want to end on that candle. Alright, so you click and you lock it in. So you can't move this at all. The only way you can move this is to change the dates that you want it to go through and to cover. And we'll look at it this way. And here are the rules. You have a begin point and an end point, and it's just telling you it's doing 31 bars, and it uses a standard deviation. You can change it, but this is pretty much the default of standard deviation, and that's pretty much the way that it works. So, I mean, you can mess around with some other stuff. You can add extra bars, coefficients, this is just one standard deviation on either side of the last 31 days. So it's taking a look at the last 31 days, figuring out what the standard deviation is, and then it's plotting it as a -1 and a +1. Okay, so that's what we have here. Now, I was playing around with this and thinking, well, maybe I could also add that I want the price to be in the bottom half of this channel, which was fine. Let's look at Google. Which was fine, but you end up with a little bit of a problem, like which time frame are you talking about here? So here we're talking about this time frame. So if I go ahead and just move it back a couple more bars, now we're looking at how much a bigger time frame. It spreads it out considerably. And there were some other stocks that I was looking at that, if depending on where I placed it, the price would be at the top of the channel or it would be at the bottom of the channel. So I don't know why I'm telling you about this. I'm just I'm just saying that you could use a regression channel. All depends on how far back you want to go. If you want to do like 30 days or something like that, you can do that. I think if you start here and work your way backwards, it's too bad it doesn't tell you how many days it's going back. If you want to have something like a standard 30-day and have the start point constantly changing to keep it 30 days, that would be nice. So you can see here that price pretty much is in the bottom half of the channel until you start expanding it back. Now price is becoming close to the mid part of the channel. But if we tighten it up a little bit, now it's on the bottom half of the channel. So, like how far back do you want to go? Well, this channel's not wide enough in my mind, even though, we're looking here, it's like $60, $50, or $40 here. There's a $40 spread here. It looks tight from here, but from here it looks okay. Now that makes more sense. Looks okay, so we're in the bottom part of the channel there, so that's a good deal. And make the trade look good. You can move it backwards and it makes the trade not look so good, if you know what I mean. You change this this way and you say I want to go back 45. And did it go back 45? Nope, it didn't. You have to change the date. You have to actually change the date. So anyway, I'm not going to mess around with it anymore. I think you get the point. I was just messing around with it. I thought maybe it would be a useful tool, but I took a pass on it because it didn't seem to be working out well. So just looking for, another way to confirm the trades. All right, let's just jump right over to the A+ list. All right. Take a look at my notes here, get up to date. All right, Apple gave us a nice hook yesterday, but it pulled back. I was looking at the A+ list during the day also, and at least in the morning. Spent about a half hour here running through these after the market opened, and I saw stuff like this, where it was looking really good and it started to pull back. So I passed on a lot of things. So Apple's like ripe for today. Apple is very ripe for today. So I'm putting an alert in here. So we have hook up green, a hook up green, and we're green here. So we are bullish, and we are looking for a bull put. Don't know where, but it'll be at the money. Wherever it is, we'll be looking for trades. See what they did there? They added a bunch of, they got 250 spreads here. They did that on a lot of other things I noticed lately. But we would be looking for something, 557, right around the 50 delta. So in this case, we'd only be collecting $1.15. Oh, sure, because it's 250. So $1.15, 250. That would have to be 225. Would be a 125 would be a 1-to-1 risk reward, where you would risk 125 to make 125. So if we threw this up on the risk profile, we would see that you're risking, in this case, 135 to make 115. Those are the trades that we're going after right now. So let's go back here to the chart, and we're ready to continue on our scan of the A+ list, AGG. We're in a downtrend. We're looking for a hook down from 80 up here. Amazon, we had a hook up, and I had an alert on this, and I took a pass on it. I just didn't feel comfortable with it yesterday. Boeing also triggered yesterday, and I took a pass on that, mainly because it was just moving so incredibly aggressively, but it's still, well, I'm just going to take a pass on it, and we'll see how it works out here. I'm going to put and I'm going to do the same thing back here on Amazon that I took a pass on those. I just want to see how they worked out. We'll follow those. Baidu, nothing going on there right now. Celgene, looks like it might be rolling over here. Celgene is having kind of a serious pullback here. Chipotle has, this is a good, sort of a good sign here, sort of a rock solid sign. I'm going to alert this one. That's a pretty good sign. We have green below the 20. It's just moved above the 20, and looks like momentum might be shifting a little bit back up after it's been kind of deflating a little bit here. When the two meet, there's a good chance that there's going to be a turnaround, so we'll be waiting for that. Alright, Costco. We had an alert, it didn't go off. I'm killing. Is it still? Yeah, I'm not liking this at all. This is pretty flat. Just, I'm going to unalert Costco. And glad there's a reason why that alert didn't trigger. Alright, Chevron, trying to get into a bullish trend here. Trying to reverse this trend. It's just barely doing it. Is this playable? I need to move out a tad on this. Wow. I don't know. I'm just not feeling real good about this one. But it did give us what we were looking for, so I'm going to go ahead and put a little flag on that one, and we'll take a look at it. Igor. Alright, we're looking for a red hook down, so maybe we will get it. FedX, we already looked at that one. Let's look at gold. Glad we didn't do anything with gold. We are in a downtrend. And if we would have, say, gotten in on this day, we'd be hurting right about now. We would have to get out. Google. That's why I'm not real excited about having gold in on here. You know, we'll just kind of keep an eye on it, but I'm not real excited about playing gold in this manner. Google, we already checked that one over. IWM, took a pass on that yesterday. Would have been possibly a good one. I think part of the reason was maybe too many days into this, and I was a little worried about Bernanke on Wednesday, although I'm pretty sure it's going to be bullish. I'm pretty sure he's going to continue to print. He's not going to do anything with a new Fed chair coming in. So this would be, we could still get in on the third day of this. I need to move this over. This would have been a good day to enter if you come and take a look at these in the afternoon. A lot of times I don't have time. This week, picking up the grandson from school, and that's at 3:30 at the optimum trading time, so I can't really do anything this week, and I'm not going to try to force anything. So this would have been a good place. You know, with the holidays coming up next week and the week after, volume is going to be very light, so just tread carefully. All right, we'll take a look at LinkedIn. I took a pass on IWM, and I'm going to take a pass on it, period. This trade is working out well. This is a simulated trade. We got in on this candle right here, which is our first day of MACD red, second day of stochastic red. And this trade would have worked out, is working out well. But nothing new coming up on that. MasterCard, we didn't quite get down here before we started moving back up. It had a little green thing in here, so we don't have a solid green down. 3M, which reminds me of the trading plan. I was going to be working on that. This was our optimal day to get in, and then we had a secondary and a tertiary, and we are going to take a pass on it now. We're passing on this. Would have been a good one. Marvel, that's something else. Netflix. Alright, we are in an uptrend. This is good enough for me. We ended up at 74.5, which is pretty close to this 80 mark. And now we got a solid red down. So we're waiting for that one to get down below the 20. We did get in on this trade here simulated. We're doing well on it. I believe I said that we are getting out on this candle here. So this is where we ended up. Well, it's not gonna talk to me. That was last week. But we ended up nice on that one. So let's get rid of all our drawings here. I don't want to delete all drawings. I want to delete all drawings. Okay. So we're waiting for our next entry on Netflix. Priceline. Here we have an entry on Priceline. Alright, I need to take a look at this chart here to set my level. I think I'm going to set our alert right here. That's a very unusual pattern there for Priceline. There's a lot of dojis here. There's one there and there and there. Wow. So it's pretty unusual for Priceline. Maybe there's something going on there. We'll see. All right, moving right along. I added RUT to the list yesterday. When I was looking at IWM, I thought, well, if I did RUT, I'd only have to do one, and that would be pretty handsome. And so when I went and looked at RUT, let's take a look here. Sorry, here. You have $5 spreads here. That's pretty good for an $1,100 underlying. So pretty happy with that. And you had a lot of choices. So if you went with a 50-50, or this will give you $2.15 with $500 in risk. So that's pretty close to a 1-to-1. So we have, we're going after this 50 delta here. So I'd rather do that than IWM. Because then IWM, you got to mess around with it because you have 50-cent spreads here. So you have to be careful when you get in on a trade. If you want to do a $5 spread, you have to kind of use your noggin on that. So this is another new thing here for IWM. I hadn't looked at IWM in a while, and here we come up with these 50-cent spreads here. That was interesting. All right. So we left off at RUT, and we are in our second day on the MACD. Still playable. So I'm going to alert RUT. Just have to be kind of careful with trading this, and probably the best idea is to get out on Thursday with RUT. Alright, SPXPM. This one you don't have to worry about because PM Friday expiration. We're in our third day here. This is still alertable, so I am going to throw one in on that. And this would be a 20 delta. I think I mentioned that yesterday. I have gotten in on these weeklies as late as a Wednesday. Might get a little bit tighter on the delta, maybe something a little bit higher than a 20. If you would get in on a Wednesday with a Friday expiration. We have a hook down here. So I'm going to alert. We're red. Oh, no. No alert here. Nope. We need a solid green going up. We don't have that. We have one back here. And then we got some questionable activity, and we would have got burnt. We would have had to get out before we lost too much on that. So that's not tradable at this time. And Visa made a nice move here on this candle. Yeah, made a nice move, but not tradable because we had our red line was interrupted with a green on the stochastic. So that's it for today. Sorry this ran a little bit long. I did kind of ramble a bit, and I apologize for that. We'll try to get refocused on just doing the scan and maybe saving the ramblings for separate videos. All right, thanks for watching. Have a great day and happy trading.